Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is our regular MLB pitching preview show that we do with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Industry veteran, industry survivor. Love to hear what he has to say about everything. And right now we're going to take a look at the card for Monday, June 8th. Joe Duffy, thanks for being back with us.
Well, thank you, Peter.
All right, Monday, June 8th. The rematch of Cole Hamels and Mike Leakey. And in the first one, you had an accurate prediction that you expected a good start by Leakey, although we know how baseball works. The first 5 innings under on that one was a winner, but 6 runs in the 9th inning wound up sending that game over. But you were dead on with saying that that Leakey would be as good as Hamels and that there would be not that many runs scored. Now we have the rematch on Monday in Cincinnati. What's your take on it? Leakey off of 119 pitches, Hamels off of just 99, and in general seems more reliable. What's your take on the rematch, Joe?
Oh, he's a much better pitcher for sure. And in fact, Leakey, over his last 3 starts, he still has an ERA of 6.88. Hamels, again, I say it each time, he's an undisputed stud pitcher on a bad team. As a general rule of thumb, I do like to fade pitchers like that, but I haven't been fading him that much because when you look at the overall metrics, that hasn't really been in a great circumstance to fade Hamels. And even here, it may not be because the Phillies have the big pitching advantage. Hamels continues to pitch extremely well despite being on a bad team. It's tough for me to go with bad teams on the road, but if you're going to, certainly with Cole Hamels as a pitcher, there's no question that the Phillies have the big pitching advantage here. The big problem is you got a bad team playing on the road. But as much as I generally like to fade guys like Hamels, if anything, I would say I'd probably lean towards going with him here.
All right, because you called for a good start by Leakey last time, and that was absolutely accurate. Sounds like you're not as high on him here.
Well, when he's pitching at home against a bad offense, it's a good possibility this is going to be a very low-scoring game. Of course, not that the odds makers are oblivious to that, but we might see about 5 runs scored in this game at the most.
And then Mike Bolsinger, right? He had a bad start at Coors, very forgivable. Now he's back home in L.A. against Arizona. Not the most formidable lineup in the world on the road. Will he be good again? And then Robbie De La Rosa on the other side can be good, but in general seems a lot more hittable than Bolsinger.
Bolsinger, a pretty good split pitcher. He's 3-0 at home with a .46 ERA. Now, Dodger Stadium, of course, a good pitcher's ballpark, but he's pitched exceptional, even relative to the fact that it's a pretty good pitcher's ballpark. I would say just keep going with this guy. He's pitching extremely well at home, and as you said, he's not necessarily facing the most explosive bats. I would ride him.
And then similar situation with Shelby Miller, right? He had his first bad start of the year in his last start at Arizona. A little bit excusable, I think. Was that just a blip? And now he's going to be back home against San Diego. Do we expect a return to excellence from Shelby Miller?
Well, remember, Shelby Miller's one of these guys who finished last year strong. A lot of people thought that he'd be a very good pitcher heading into this year, and he certainly has. When you go back to almost about this point last year, he's been as dominant as any pitcher in baseball, but because he's on the Braves, a team that's not all that good, he continues to sneak under the radar. Miller's one of these guys that I'm going to continue to look to ride. He's just been fantastic and quietly so. So he is definitely undervalued.
Okay, so you're looking at bounce-back starts from both Bolsinger and Shelby Miller, and you're expecting another good start from Leakey, but not necessarily seeing Cincinnati as a team with value. Is that correct?
Yeah, and like I said, as much as I really want to fade Hamels, I usually pass on it because the situation hasn't been all that right. But I'd also be a little cautious for those people who want to continue to ride him because, like I said, there's some danger in riding these quality pitchers on bad teams. You get a lot of heartbreaking losses, and I still think you made your prediction. If Cole Hamels is still in the Phillies, and again, Ruben Amaro doesn't like to pull the trigger, it seems. We've been talking about Cole Hamels possibly getting traded for about the last 3 years. I do think from this point on, Hamels will likely have a negative return on investment.
Interesting prediction there. Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. All right, just 8 games from the Monday card. Is there anything we didn't get to that you'd like to touch on?
I think about the only thing, I think we did talk about John Lackey. He's been getting slapped around a Coors Field. Of course, who doesn't? But he's given up 9 earned runs in 12 2/3 innings pitch at Coors Field, and that has to be in your head. But I think other than that, we pretty much covered everything else.
All right, so maybe a bet on Colorado or an over in that one on Monday. Thanks so much, Joe.